Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. As always, I'd like to just start off by saying a big thank you to all of you who've watched the videos, have subscribed to the channel. If you're someone new and you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It helps me out tremendously. I appreciate every single one of you and just want to keep growing as much as I can. And I can't do that without all y'all's help. And I know that I can get there. My goal right now, I'm actually going to have lofty aspirations and try to hit 200 by the end of the year. I have a feeling I can get there. I think it adds up to like one a day. So, hey, if I can just reach that, I don't know what I would do, how grateful I would be to all of you. And also, as a very special thing I'd like to do, so I would like to say happy birthday to my daughter. So now this can live on the internet for her to say that I love you. Hope you had a great day. So, if you really want to, wish her a happy birthday. I'm sure she would get a real kick out of that. So, and also, if you like this kind of content, throw a like on the video. Comment what if you want me to keep this going. If I want to try to turn this into a series, because this video is about Switch games that you should get now before they get rare later on down in the future. So, and I would like to preface it by saying that these are just my opinions, how I feel. I am not giving financial advice to anyone saying, oh, you go out and buy like 3-4 copies of this game or anything and then say nothing ever happens. This is just speculation, research I've done, looking at where pricings are right now versus where they were when they first retailed. Have they held their value? If they've gone down, how if they're in a series, how they've gone in the past. So just speculations at this point. So I just don't want to get any hateful comments about certain games. And I also have a little thing at the very end I'd like to get y'all's opinion on, but we'll get there when we get there. So with all that out of the way, let's get right into this video. Now the first game that I have, I'm sure most people have heard of it by now. I've talked about it in previous videos. Maybe not exactly this game, but the first game we have is Hollow Knight. Now, I'm putting this on here because right now, as of this filming, Hollow Knight Silksong came out yesterday, and it came out with such fanfare and so much hype and enthusiasm. People were wanting to download it so much, it broke the Nintendo eShop. It literally broke. Like, went down. People couldn't download it. Servers had to get rebooted. And I don't remember, if I'm not mistaken, I think by the end of the day, it had already sold over 500,000 units in just a couple of hours. So, very popular game. And with that game being that popular, people are going to want to play this first one if they haven't already. And so, and most of the sales of the game previously were all digitally and not physically. And you know what? What's so special about this one is that it actually includes all of the DLC along with it has a manual in it, which is I was actually really shocked when I opened it up and saw a manual. I was like, oh my good God, what are these people doing? Because if you know Nintendo Switch games, they very rarely include a manual, much to my disappointment. I wish they would all go back to that. But it also includes a fold-out map of I don't know how you pronounce it, but Hallow Nest is what I'm going to call it. And you can actually get this game right now pretty cheap for off of the Fan Gamer site. It's $35, but I've actually seen people putting this up like on eBay for I think the most that I saw for just the regular edition was people were asking for $75 for it, still sealed. I'm like, why pay $75 when I can go get it brand new for 35? So just to let y'all know, and I probably will put the link down below for this game off the Fangamer site, just so y'all don't have to go about searching for it. Not like it's that hard to look for it, but I really do feel that $35 right now, I don't know how long that's going to last for, especially once Silksong comes out physically next year, because people are going to want to have just so they can have both of them physically in their collections. So, and I really don't see Hollow Knight getting as even as popular as Silksong is. I don't see this getting any reprints on anything. So this is what we have is what we have. So it's just going to get rarer and rarer as copies get bought up. So something just to be on the lookout for. And the very next game that we actually have, very long title. You have Mario and Sonic in the Olympic Games, Tokyo 2020. This game, I'm putting it here on this list because it is a Mario game. Not just a Mario game, it's a Sonic game. You have the two powerhouses from back in the day for Nintendo and Sega and their mascots in one game. And this game is pretty obscure. I hadn't really heard about it until some friends got it for me for my birthday one year, and because I never saw it in stores. I don't know if maybe it was just that unpopular, or maybe my store just was one of the special ones that never got it, but I never saw it in stores. Not even at my local GameStop. I don't even recall seeing this. So, and it really, as I was doing research, this game really didn't sell well. It never reached 1 million copies, and because it actually sold so poorly, the Olympic Committee, like, they refused to renew their licensing for it. So this is basically marks the end of this series for Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. And I just feel that in the future, people are going to want this for Mario fans, people just collecting Mario games, even if people that are wanting to collect Sonic games. Then I've seen actually varying prices for this online. But like used copies going on sale for $35. But if you're wanting it brand new, it's still at retail price at $60. And so it's held its own for this long period of time, even with being such an obscure game, not selling very well. So I just feel that in the future, that price is probably going to go up. And the next game that we have on the list is we have The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. This came out in 2019 and was a huge hit. The new art style, it's brought the Game Boy Classic that I remember playing to a modern console. So all the people that were like the original audiences that played this on the Game Boy, and the new ones, the younger gamers can experience it now with just the updated graphics. And I feel like most of the entries in the Legend of Zelda series, if you actually look at them for the franchise, they always get harder to find, and they get more expensive as time goes on, because they just allow them to, they just don't get reprints a lot. Even no matter how popular they are, it's like they just print them out for a little bit and then they just move on to the next one. I don't really understand why. Maybe it's a sales thing, but yeah, it just keeps getting more and more expensive. And after 6 years, if you actually want to buy this brand new, it's still $60. So it's maintained its price for all this time. So for that reason, and just for how Legend of Zelda games typically, how they progress throughout the years, they just keep getting more and more expensive. I feel that this is going to be the same way, as it's just another entry in the beloved series for Legend of Zelda. And the next game that I have for y'all is Metroid Prime Remastered. I put this here because I feel that people are really going to be looking for this, especially with the upcoming release of Metroid Prime 4. This is the only Metroid game besides Metroid Dread, which is a completely different game, that you can get on the Switch, I believe. And so, yeah, people are just going to want to get this to either like not to get necessarily caught up, but just to get that feel for the games again for the people that haven't already. And this actually game didn't get much fanfare when it came out in 2023. In fact, it was actually just basically shadow dropped. But because it was shadow dropped, it still sold over 1 million copies within the first 7 weeks. But it was like after that 7 weeks went by, sales kind of really just petered out. I think that to this day, it's sold roughly 1.4 million copies. I mean, that's still not a bad number, but not what you would typically see or you would expect from a Metroid game. You would expect it to be a lot more than that. But despite its modest sales, and this is actually still maintained its $40 price tag. And historically, all the Metroid games, they increase in price as they don't get reprints. Especially this one's especially not going to be getting one at this late in the game with Metroid Prime 4 coming out. That's not going to happen, I don't think. I mean, why would they reprint a game from a few years ago when they have a brand new one coming out in maybe a couple of months? We don't know. No release date yet. But fingers crossed for Metroid Prime 4 for all you Metroid fans out there. But so this is just going to get harder and harder to find from here on out. Who knows how long that $40 price tag is going to stick on there. So just maybe something to think about possibly getting sooner rather than later. And then the very last thing I have for y'all is actually a trilogy of games. And this is for the Atelier Ryza trilogy. And so I'm putting these on here because later on in the year, the trilogy is actually getting a trilogy release. So it's all going to just be one physical thing. It's going to be released on PlayAsia. But these ESRB ones are the ones that collectors really want. And so this is just going to be sought after by collectors, I just feel, because with you don't have very many of them anymore. And already these are actually becoming hard to come by, and especially the very first Atelier Ryza, the price has been creeping up. Because the very first time when I started researching, trying to come up with a list for games to do, it was still at the retail. But the first one's actually increased slightly. I think it's about $10 more above retail right now, at around $70 is what I saw. But while the other two, you can still get them at retail. And this trilogy is just going to become sought after because there's such great games in the Atelier series, and I don't think even with the trilogy collection that's coming out, I don't think these ESRB ones are going to be able to get a reprint at this point in the Switch's life cycle. So I just feel that, yeah, the price is, so with them staying where they are, they're, I just, I don't know. I just feel that they're just going to go up from here. And like right now, you're at the bottom, and they're just going to get harder and harder to find as Atelier fans want to pick this up, especially if the series keeps getting newer and newer entries. So for people wanting to get like the entire collection, especially for the Switch, and for it being backwards compatible, just makes it, collecting for it, that much more lucrative. And so I did promise something extra well, not maybe not special, but just something I want to get y'all's opinion on for this is, if this is something that y'all want to see me doing more videos like this, just comment down below that there was that is something that you would like to actually see, so I can start trying to do more and more research for different games, for what to try to do for a list such as this, to do more videos. Um, I don't know if it turn into a series, how many of them I would do, but hey, if that's what y'all want, I can try to do my best to do it. And something else I would actually like to try to do is, if y'all want to actually comment down below, like what is a game that you would like to see me talk about a little bit, then just comment for that, what that game is down below. I can do a little bit of research on it, and maybe I could actually do, I don't know what I would call it, but it'd be subscriber shoutouts. So I just tell your name and say, hey, this game was suggested by so and so to try and play, like what kind of game it is. Um, if it's something I've already played, I can maybe just go with like a slight review on it. So say it's a great game, how much I liked it, or just what my thoughts and opinions on it are. Or if it's if it is to do as a suggestion for other people to try to play and to buy, how much that game is going for currently. I don't know, something was just trying to play around with, something to be able to do to be a little bit more interactive with y'all. So if that's something y'all would like to see, comment down below as well. But I hope you all like this video. I will try to do my best to do more of these if that is what y'all want. So I will see you all next time.